It's possible to look at any week's Torah reading and to look at the news headlines that might be occurring all around and to wonder, is there a connection? And then you find a connection. You find yourself grounded perhaps in the text and in the world, and then something else happens. So you recalibrate, and then something else happens, and you wonder, can I keep on doing this? Can I keep on recalibrating? Can I keep on adjusting to the moment that I'm in? So today, just today, there's a shooting in Alexandria, and then there's a shooting just now, happening in real time in San Francisco. And I remember saying so recently about last week's Torah portion, Ba'alotcha, what an incredible moment it is to be guided in the construction of the golden menorah, a 7-branch candelabrum. It's a beautiful image. This miksha, this one piece of gold hammered into its 7 branches. And it's hammered into what the Torah calls prachim. It's hammered into the flowers of each branch. And so I remember saying in my teaching of the week's portion, we can raise each other up. We raise up these flowers so that when we emit our fire in the world, we do so in a way that is graceful, that is stunning, that is scented. It's beautiful. It's light that doesn't burn. And then we enter into each moment in turn of a week that follows such a beautiful message. And today with the shootings, it's hard to hold on to the glory of that light. It burns. And so I think of what is in this week's Torah portion coming up, Shlach Lecha. It's a very, very intense section where spies are sent by the Israelites into the land of Canaan that they will spy, that they are supposed to conquer and inherit. But the phrasing of the instruction, Shlach Lecha Anashim, sounds a lot like God's call to Abraham back in Genesis, Lech Lecha. Lech Lecha, the first call to Abram is to go journey, but it's a doubling of language. Go you. Go for your own sake. Not I, God, tell you to do this, and it's for no one's sake, or for my sake alone. Go because it's good for you. Go, it's yours. This coming week's Torah portion, Shlach Lecha, is send for yourselves people to go scout the territory. Do we presume that the God who sent us on this journey so many years ago doesn't know what is in that land? Do we believe that we need to spy the land so that God will know? No, it's not even that we need the spies to tell us what's there. God has already told us what's there. So why do we send the spies? Shlach Lecha, we send them for ourselves. And then when they return, we have these conflicting messages. 10 of the 12 spies that are sent bring back what is called a dibara'ah. They see things, and the way they reflect them is with the negativity, with the cynicism of real eyes. What is there? It's a land flowing with milk and honey, and there are anakim. There are giants there, and we can't do it. Are they wrong? Are they wrong about being intimidated by the real world that is unfolding before them? The answer is no, they're not wrong. 2 of the 12 spies, Kalev and Yoshua, come back and they say words that have resonated in American history more than anyone would realize unless they hear specific translations. They say, yes, it is a land flowing with milk and honey. Yes, there are giants in that uncharted territory. But, and, Hakol Nuchala, translated in the way American translation should render it, we shall overcome. These spies don't deny the hardship to come. We cannot deny the reality of a gun violence epidemic, of assaults on women's dignity, on assaults on people of different ethnic origins trying to find safety on our shores, assaults on African Americans incarcerated in increasing rates, assaults on the very dignity of what it is to be this country in the world because of the laughingstock in the White House. The indignity of it all. It's all true. It's all true. To be the spy, to be the eyes that would say anything else would be to deny the reality around us, to deny the world. We don't do that. The Torah would never have us deny the reality. But the question is, which kind of eyes will you have? Will you be the 10 spies who see the real harsh world in front of you and say, we can't do it, and spread the negativity and cynicism that betrays our very souls, that takes our confidence away because the reality is, as Wordsworth once said, too much with us. The world is too much with us. It's true. Or will you be a spy who sees accurately the world in front of you, a Joshua, a Kalev, and you say, it's going to be hard, and Hakol Nuchala, we shall overcome. We have never given up as people. We do not give up as a people. And if we can take solace and comfort in one teaching, it is from the prophetic reading, the Haftarah from last week. It comes from the prophet Zechariah, and it returns to the image of that menorah, the seven-branched, flowering vision of light. At the very end of the Haftarah, it's from chapter 4 of Zechariah, there's an image that the prophet sees of a menorah. And the prophet says to an angel who appears, tell me what it means. And the angel says, don't you know what this means? Look at it. Don't you know what it means? And here's the answer from the angel. Lo v'chayil v'lo v'choach, not by might and not by power. Ki'im beruchi, only through my spirit. And the final answer is, when this vision will be fulfilled, chen chen la, grace. Grace. God, we're asking for grace. These are really hard days. These are really hard moments in any number of directions. We sometimes don't know where to turn to bring more grace and gentleness and love and kindness into the world. That is so true. But we know what it means. It means we ache for gentleness. We ache for compassion. We ache for grace. And there are moments where I am not so sure we can generate it ourselves. In those moments, may we open our eyes to each other. May we extend gentle hands to each other. When harshness is in the world, may we respond with indefatigable love. May we be gentle with each other. That's the kind of grace that we might one day recognize as yours pouring through our own eyes.